61% of the population in the United States have gained additional weight over the last year and a half. And in the majority of cases, it was over 20 pounds. With additional weight, any health issues, including the severity of COVID reactions, escalate. And many people experience fatigue, depression, hormonal imbalances, and all kinds of not good stuff. And if you or your loved ones were ever really sick, you know that health is wealth. That's why today we'll talk about specific steps you can take to drop the pandemic pounds that you've probably carried over for some time, so you can skyrocket your energy and look and feel 10 years younger.
Grow your wealth, live on your terms.
Hello, powerful people. Hi there. Welcome to the Conversations with Experts, the show that allows you to connect with experts in different areas of life. Our intention is to help you be your best self and create your best life. I'm Millen Livis, the host of the show and financial independence mentor. Are you a busy entrepreneur or hardworking professional who wants to be financially independent so you have the true freedom of choice? Awesome. Glad you're here. Because if you want your money experiences to be different, you've got to do something different with your money than you've done in the past. So go ahead and download my wealth planner for free. And here's the link for you to get it. And start working through this right away. And if you want to be part of my brand new upcoming training for unusual money habits to upgrade your financial situation in 40 days, join my free Facebook group, Wealth Building for Powerful Women. And here's the link where you can join. All right. Let's move on to our topic today, which is how to drop the pandemic pounds. And I bet millions of people would love to hear that. And my truly amazing guest today is Jennifer Beck. Welcome, Jennifer. You might be muted. Unmute yourself. Okay, that would help.
Hey, Millen, it's great to be here.
Yes, I'm very excited to have you with us today because I know that you are amazing and I know that you help a lot of people to deal with something that's very annoying, and I know it firsthand. But before we get into all the questions that I'm going to ask you today, I would like to officially introduce you, if I may.
Sure.
So Jennifer Beck, also known as Jen, is the founder of the Complete Health Revolution and registered nutrition consultant. Over the last 20 years, Jen has empowered thousands of people to transform their lives by ditching their diets and drugs, getting to the root cause, and implement real health solutions that create long-lasting results. And don't we all want that? So Jen helps clients discover their ideal foods, eliminate sugar cravings, and add emotional eating. Jennifer, I am so happy that we have this opportunity to talk to you today because I'm sure that a lot of people would love to hear all the wisdom and experience that you will share with us today. So welcome again.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So as always, I would like to ask you, how did you get to this career path? What brought you there? Usually we have this personal story for most people, and I would love to hear yours.
Sure. And absolutely, it's a personal story. When I was in my 20s, I was living on caffeine and sugar and fast food and didn't really know much about nutrition. My mom had multiple sclerosis my entire life. And when she was 49 years old, she went from living on her own to being in a nursing home in about 6 weeks. And she had already been on all the preventative drugs to make sure that that never happened. So in my mind, I'm going, well, obviously the medications aren't working, but there's got to be something out there that can help her. So I started looking for, alternative medicine and nutrition. And long story short, I ended up at a conference where there was a pharmacist talking about the healing benefits of superfoods, which I thought was a little ironic. But his wife had had MS for 26 years, just like my mom. The only difference is that she was walking across a ballroom with 0 issues. And my mom had been walking with a cane since I was about 4. And I got a chance to ask her, what drugs are you on? Because your results are so different. And she said, oh, I'm not on any medications. My husband, the pharmacist, didn't believe in them, which I thought was a little shocking. But she built her body up with diet, supplements, and exercise. And those were 3 things that my mom never really did. I mean, we had balanced meals, a can of green beans, a can of cream corn, Salisbury steak out of the freezer. But it just got me thinking like, well, maybe what this woman had done, if my mom would have done those things, would her results have been different? So I started on a research mission and saw people reversing MS and heart disease and cancer and fibromyalgia and all the things that I thought were a life sentence once you got the diagnosis. And because of that, I went back to school and got a certification in nutrition. And for the last, almost 20 years, I've been working with folks, helping them get to the root cause of what's going on with their body, figure out what they need to be eating for their body to heal itself, eliminate the drugs, release the extra weight, and truly step into the health that they desire so they can live the life and the lifestyle that really fulfills them and that they can take care of their family and their business and create that legacy that we're all after.
This is really amazing story how you, it's like life purpose found you through your mom.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. And even though you help people with a lot of terminal disease, I know that one of the things that you help them with is to release the weight, because very often, maybe very, very often, weight is a symptom of something else that is happening with the body, right?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. It's very rare that it's only because somebody ate too many calories. It's usually the calories that they ate caused something else, and now their body is packing on weight as a result of that.
And that's why I would love to maybe dive a little bit deeper by asking you, why do people struggle so much with their weight? And why is it so hard for people, even though sometimes when they lose weight, why it's so hard for them to keep the weight low?
Yeah, I think a big part of this, Millen, goes back to our diet industry. I mean, the weight loss and diet industry is a $71 billion industry. And if they actually created programs that worked, we wouldn't need it anymore, right? Weight Watchers wouldn't need a lifetime guarantee where you can go back anytime you need to if it actually worked. So there's a few things that really keep people struggling. And one is the diet mentality, right? I've got to do all or nothing today. But what are the things that I need to do? Do I need to count macros or points or go vegan or eat plant-based or eat only meat or eat keto or eat what? And no diet is talking about the individual, right? I wholly believe in the bioindividuality. We all have our unique metabolism. And if you're not eating for your metabolic design, you are going to end up sluggish, overweight, with health issues and blood sugar instability, and just feel miserable all throughout the day, right? These are the people we see that are carrying around extra weight, that are slogging through the day, and they're a little moody at the same time, right? But if we're really looking at, what keeps people overweight, it's because we try and manage the numbers versus getting really down to the brass tacks of like, how do we support our body in a way that keeps us thriving? If we only look at the quantitative ways to measure our health, we're missing out on the qualitative, right? We're missing out on the quality of life that we have. And, American medicine is amazing. Modern medicine today at being able to keep us alive longer. But I don't know about you. I don't want to be 65, 70, living in a nursing home waiting to die. I want to be traveling and boating and playing tennis and living life fully. And that only happens when we have the quality of life, not just the quantity of life. So if we get
I
stuck in
just,
this diet
yeah, I just
mentality,
love so much what you just said. It's so important to remember that we're all different. And I just want to share with you some example. Like I heard from many people that intermittent fasting is good for you. It's healthy for you. And recently I spoke with someone who is an expert in this field, and he said, actually, it depends on your particular metabolic condition, etc. Right? So would you agree that intermittent fasting that's so much promoted by many people right now, by nutritionists, by weight loss coaches, etc., it's not necessarily good for everyone?
I would agree with that. And I think it depends on your metabolic makeup. It also depends on how fat adapted you are. If somebody is going from a high carb, low fat diet to to an intermittent fasting and changing what they're eating at the same time, it can really not only be challenging to maintain, but it also can really mess with our metabolism and our fat processing and things like that as well. So it has to be done. For me, when I work with somebody, it's a matter of meeting them where they're at now, and then baby stepping them into the habits that will create lifelong health and allow them to release the weight for good. Because if we're just going, oh, this is the one thing to do, it may or may not be right for you. You know, for somebody that has thyroid issues, it may or may not be right for them to do intermittent fasting today. 2 months down the road, 6 months down the road, it might be ideal for them. But we've really got to look at what the individual is coming in with, where they're at mentally and physically, and then help them to get to a place where they're thriving the way that their body thrives.
Very cool. And so I'm glad that you confirm what I kind of felt myself and heard from some people already. And if there is such thing as effortless wealth management, I don't know if there is such thing, but if there is such thing, what would be the key to creating this effortless weight management that will lead to having more energy, feeling more vitality, and having like healthier physical body and emotional body as well?
Yeah, the biggest thing is having the habits in place. Right. So looking at the foundation is eating the right foods in right combination for your body. Right. So our metabolic design, we need to have a certain percentage of fats, fiber, and protein for us to be able to stabilize our blood sugar levels and really help to enhance our metabolism. When you know the foods that are your best fuel and which ones are going to slow you down, it just becomes kind of a no-brainer. Right? I have a couple who went on vacation for 10 days. They went out at least once or twice a day. And when they came back after a 10-day vacation, only focusing on eating for their metabolic design and the right balance, he lost 3 pounds and she maintained. And she goes, and I really didn't think about anything about what I was eating other than just focusing on my metabolic design. So when we know the foods to eat and that's what we're focused on, it allows our brain to go, oh, I know what to eat. Because we're not counting and tracking and analyzing the points and the numbers, right? So it really allows us to put healthy eating on autopilot. When we layer in habits like getting to bed at a certain time and having a nighttime routine and making sure we're getting enough water, little things like that, they just become habit. And then those habits become effortless. You know, I have a saying that the hardest habits to create are the easiest ones to sustain and live with. The easiest habits to create are the hardest ones to sustain and live with. So if you think about going through the drive-through, it's the easiest thing in the world. But what's the end result? We've got to live with pain and disease and everything else. And down the road, it's hard to live with. But if you create the foundation of eating vegetables with each meal and having good lean proteins and healthy fats, and you create a habit with that, what's the long-term payoff? You've got incredible health, incredible energy, and your body doesn't need to hold on to any extra weight because it's thriving. It's in its healthiest mode.
Wow. I cannot tell you how excited I am to hear from you that habits are at the very bottom of our success in everything in life, pretty much. Healthy habits with money, healthy habits with food, healthy habits with relationships. everywhere. It's all about habits. And that's why when I ask you if there is such thing as effortless weight management, I love that you brought up the habits, because when good patterns become habits, that's when it becomes effortless. And it's interesting that there are a lot of similarities with money. Like, people don't like diets, people don't like budgets. And with money, it's also all about creating healthy money habits. So you don't need to feel like you have to force yourself to do certain things or not to do certain things, because it just, now it's like a healthy pattern, healthy habit that you created. So it's, I love the similarity that you brought up, and it's really click for me as well, because for me, I used to be on not too many diets, but sometimes, like when I had some occasion and I needed to lose weight, I would go on lose weight quick something diet, you know, like I would lose it and then I would gain again, and so it's from time to time it is a battle for me. And especially in my family, there is a, you know, like my, some family members have challenges with weight gain and weight loss. So it's a very familiar topic for me. So I really happy to hear what you just shared. And since you're such a brilliant lady, and I really want to pick up your brain for all our people who are watching us right now, I would like to ask you if you could give us specific tips that that people could take today and use them to get started and actually see real results over time, not overnight, but over time.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, I'm a firm believer in baby steps. So there's a ton of baby steps that you can start with. Part of it is looking at where am I at now and what's one thing that I can change, right? Maybe it's drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water, right? Because one of the reasons our body packs on weight is dehydration, because it's trying to regulate our body temperature. So drink half your body weight in ounces of water. Have protein with breakfast, so you're starting your body off with balanced blood sugar for the day. Try and include a vegetable, at least one, with each and every meal, including breakfast, right? You can throw spinach into a smoothie, you won't even taste it. Add some veggies in with your eggs. What are some of those things that you can be able to add in a vegetable? Because you get lower calories, lower blood sugar impact, and more nutrition. Before you eat something, pause and ask yourself, why do I want this? Am I physically hungry? And if yes, then you can be able to choose to eat indulgently or choose to eat nutritiously. It is a choice, right? It's personal responsibility for what goes in our mouth. And then ask yourself, if it's not hunger, well, am I upset? Am I angry? Am I frustrated? Am I stressed? Or am I lonely or bored? Or am I just looking for something to fill the void that I'm feeling, right? And that void can be mental, emotional, or spiritual. But we will typically go to something that's physical to fill that void, whether that's food or sugar or alcohol or, you know, overworking or oversleeping or over Netflixing, right? So really pause and ask yourself, why do you want what you want? And then ask, is there something else that would fulfill me, and that would fulfill me, not just fill me, right? So we're really looking at how do we create a life that we love and have the health to go along with it.
I just love the play of words. What will fulfill me, not just fill me. Love it. And I want to ask you a question about fruits, because we often talk about vegetables, but fruits also have very important aspects in our nutritional balance. So would you recommend to people who maybe really enjoy fruits, would you recommend them to incorporate fruits in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening? Like, could you just comment about incorporating fruits? Because vegetables, everybody knows, I think that vegetables are good for you. But with fruits, I hear different stories. So I would love to hear your take on it.
Sure. Well, there's a few different angles that I would look at. The first one goes back to your metabolic design. Somebody who has a protein metabolic design really doesn't do well with most fruit outside of berries and green apples because they impact their blood sugar too quickly. That being said, if you're going to eat fruit, enjoy it at least 20 minutes before any kind of protein or 2 hours outside of a meal. And the reason being is because fruit needs its own digestive enzymes. So unless it's a sub-acid fruit like a berry or an apple or something like that, it doesn't really combine well with protein, which is why you see a lot of times with the protein smoothie, they'll incorporate berries and spinach in a protein smoothie because those do blend well. So the biggest thing is 20 minutes before a meal or 2 hours after a meal so that you can digest it well and really look at how you feel a half an hour to an hour and a half after you eat that fruit. And if you feel tired or you have cravings or you feel like you need a crash, chances are you don't do as well with fruit as one might think. So it's not that fruit is bad, but I do know there was a gal that I worked with a few years ago and she went on Weight Watchers and, fruits and vegetables are free. Well, she ended up, her blood sugars were over 300 within 3 months of doing Weight Watchers because majority of what she was eating was free and it was fruit. So we've really got to look at the individual. And if you're struggling with blood sugar, if you're a diabetic, I would still caution you to focus more on berries and green apples than doing the whole array of fruits because it's going to help stabilize your blood sugar instead of creating spikes in that.
That makes sense because I hear about, I had someone who introduced me to the person who is fruitarian. Mm-hmm. And this fruitarian person was trying to convert me to be a fruitarian. And I was like, how come he is doing so well with eating only fruits? But other people really struggle. And so it's because we're all different, right? So yes. For some people, it's okay to be fruitarian. And for others, it's absolutely not a good idea. And that's why many people need someone like you who would really be a guide and basically just determine what kind of metabolic type you have and what is good for you, what is not good for you. It's not always easy to see, I call it your back in a mirror, right? It's not always easy to see what is right for you. And that's why we need coaches and guides like you. So thank you so much, Jen. And I would like to ask you how people could connect with you and what would you like to share with them today?
Sure. You can absolutely reach out to me on Facebook at Complete Health Revolution, or, you can shoot me an email at jen@completehealthrevolution.com. But for each of your guests, Millen, I have my free download, my free guide of how to drop a dress size in 3 weeks, right? We're halfway through summer, and I know that none of us none of us would deny dropping a dress size, right? Having the ability to not only look our best, but feel our best inside of our skin and throughout the course of our day. And this guide is really designed to do just that. It is a simple guide, but it really helps you hone in on what is specifically right for you and for your body and give you a jump start where you can follow the meal plan that's in there and follow the guide and drop a dress size in 3 weeks. This program, this workbook is priceless because it really does give you the step-by-step to take control of your health, to skyrocket your energy so that you can thrive. And for the first 5 people that go and download this, I actually have 5 spots in my calendar where we can be able to do a barrier breakthrough session. You were talking about how it's hard to sometimes see our blind spots and to know exactly what's right for us and where we're at right now. And this barrier breakthrough session, it's a 30-minute session where you and I will sit down, we'll identify exactly what that blind spot is, and then create an action plan so you can break through that barrier and truly get to a place where not just dropping a dress size, but where you know the exact actions you need to get to your ideal weight and sustain it effortlessly, even if you're over 40. I have a lot of women go, oh my gosh, I'm over 40. That'll never work for me. Nope, this is designed for you. So I would invite you to go to dropadresssizein3weeks.com And then, like I said, for the first 5 of you that download that, I have a spot in my calendar so we can do a barrier breakthrough session for you. It's a $150 value, and it's my gift to you because I love action takers. And I am on a mission to make sure that no woman has to suffer needlessly and tote around an extra 10, 30, 50, or 100 pounds when there's no need for it. Because once you know the specifics about what's at the root, then it's as simple as making a few strategic changes so that you can be able to thrive and not just survive.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for this gift. Thank you for giving this opportunity to everyone who is watching us. And I highly recommend that if you want to look better, to feel better, and to really just know that you are in your best shape health-wise, then grab this opportunity, talk to Jen, get this program, this training with her, and you will really thank yourself that you took this first step. Like Jen said, it's all about baby steps. So take this baby step right now. And thank you, Jen, again for sharing your wisdom, for sharing your experience. And thank you, all of you powerful people, for taking time to be with us today, to watch this show, and I really want to tell you that I applaud you for wanting to be your best self and for wanting to live your best life. And until we meet again next week, the same place, the same time, I wish you a wonderful day, and be in your power, be in your light, and know that you are valued and you're loved. Bye now.